right. So, hey, everybody. My name is Courtney Shaw, and I have the honor and pleasure to get to speak with you all tonight about something that really is foundational in what we do, and that is sharing our story. And in order to share our story, we've got to kind of craft it. It's so interesting. I don't know about any of you. I'm going to share my screen in just a bit. Actually, I'm not the host, so I might not be sharing my screen. It looks like Carol is still the host. It's okay. It's all good. I can talk through anything. But when I first started this whole thing, I thought, oh my goodness, I can't sell anything. And if you've got your camera on, raise your hand if you ever felt like you could never sell anything to anybody. Okay, yay. I love that. And if you could, good for you. That is amazing. I love that. Okay, I'm the host now. Sweet. I really felt very nervous about it. And what I learned is that we are paid storytellers. That's who we are. So I'm going to start off tonight by sharing my story with you. And I'm going to mix my product in with my business. Very often we do different, we separate them, but I'm going to give you my quick overview of product and business all at one time. Okay. So my name is Courtney and I live in North Carolina. I'm a mom of 5 kids. I'll tell you that 13 years ago, with 5 children under the age of 12, I was one exhausted, frustrated, just at my wits' end, pulling my hair out kind of mama. I'm a personal fitness trainer. And so when my kids got sick, it meant that I couldn't go to work. I was getting subs for my group fitness classes. I was canceling my clients, which meant that I didn't get paid. I was looking for a way, any way, to get my kids healthy. Now, my only stipulation is that I don't do vitamins. I don't know, does anybody do vitamins? I'm not a big vitamin person. So I was looking for a way to do it as naturally as possible, kind of like what Peachy said tonight, right? As naturally as possible. And I love that. So what I did was I listened to a friend. It took me a while, but I finally was like, all right, leave me alone. I'll hear you. I'll hear you if you'll leave me alone. So I heard her spiel. She showed me a doctor's talk, and I thought, oh my goodness. Not only was I excited, I was a little bit, I don't know, angry because now I had to buy the stuff because it totally made sense for me. Totally made sense to me. So now I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I've got 5 children. 5 children. What was the first question on my mouth? What's the best price possible? And she said, well, there's the health study. You can get 1 child for free with your adult order. And I was like, all right, I'll pick my favorite kid. That's fine. Now, is there anything else? And she said, well, there's the business. And I was like, I don't need another business. Listen, my days were full. I had 15 personal training clients per week coming to me out of my home. I had 17 boot camps a week I was running out of my home, plus 5 kids, one of which I was still nursing, right? I was not needing anything else, but I'll tell you what, I was looking for best price possible. And what happened was when my children started to take these soft chewables, when I started to put these capsules into my body, it wasn't but a few months later, and kid number 4 was asking for raw broccoli with dinner. My kid number 2 was asking me for hummus and peppers for snack at school. They were asking for carrots, and I thought something's happening in their bodies. And the next thing I knew, I had to be the best girlfriend ever. All my girlfriends in the neighborhood had to know about this. What was I doing that was keeping my kids so healthy? And I had to share that it was so simple, just fruits and vegetables and berries in a capsule. Don't know much about it, but it's working for us. And the next thing you know, I had a business. So that's a quick overview of who I am. Now, it wouldn't be my elevator story or my story that I would share with somebody if I was sitting down at a table to have a conversation. I'm going to show you how to do that tonight really simply. All right, so I'm going to share my screen now. Give me 1 second. I get all fancy on y'all. Actually, I don't really like to read from a PowerPoint or from a paper or anything. I like to just talk to you. So this is all about crafting your story. All right. We're going to start off with your product story tonight. And I love the screen because you could take a picture if you need to on any of these things. What I want to share first off is nothing that I'm saying to you tonight is not available to you at your fingertips. If you'll go to thefreedomrevolution.com, it's under trainings and your stories. All right. So it's right here, sharing your product story. I'm not going to focus in on this page, but just so you know, that's where it is. It's also under the A to Z. Okay. All right. Now, what I learned is that people don't necessarily relate to every story that we tell, right? So tonight we heard an acne story, and I've had several of my teammates that have acne stories. Maybe you have an IBS story or a gut health story, or maybe you have, I don't know, whatever. Not everyone's going to relate to that. I've never had acne before. I've never had IBS before. I kind of came from one of the other stories tonight. I pretty much always kind of been healthy, just a little bit healthy, right? So what people relate to are emotions. So if you can add words or feelings of emotion to your story, this will help you to relate to the person that's in front of you. All right. So I'll give you an example. I had a conversation with a girl, was helping her with her story, and she said, it was actually an acne story. That's interesting. Now that I think about it, she was a mommy, and she said, before I started Juice Plus, I had really bad red. She had active acne, and then of course she had cystic acne as well. And I said, how did that make you feel? And she said, I was embarrassed. And I said, okay, what were you, when you go out somewhere, what did you do? I was sad. I had to hide my face. I never wanted to go anywhere. I felt frustrated. It was the worst feeling ever. I felt so bad about myself. And I thought, okay, that could relate to a whole lot of different people's emotions around whatever they're going through right at that moment. So we started putting words to emotions to her story, right? And as we got through that, she realized, and she was like, okay, so people can relate to embarrassment. People can relate to fear of judgment, what other people are going to think. People can relate to frustration, all of that. So if that makes sense to you, I want you to, right now, if you have a pen and paper in front of you, I want you to write down at least 3 words that would describe where you were prior to starting your health journey. I like to say health journey, but of course it's a Juice Plus journey as well. Write down 3 words that would describe before you started. Where were you? And there are a lot of other words other than these that I have on the screen. Write those 3 words down. Okay. Now, again, this is on thefreedomrevolution.com, but what I like to do is show the pivot. All right. So in the beginning, all right, this is very, very easy. However many years ago, 3 years ago, I was a busy mom with kids that never ate fruits and vegetables, and my kids were always sick. Awesome. All right, good. You may or may not relate to that. What did I do? The middle part is your pivot. And you get to pivot at any point in your Juice Plus lifetime, right? If your story's not working for you right now, if your health journey is not working for you right now, meaning if you need to make a change, if you need to start doubling up, if you need to whatever, I've pivoted so many times in 13 years, I cannot even tell you. I needed to change the way I was making my complete shakes. I needed to add that complete shakes to my kids' pancakes in the morning. I needed to start making complete oatmeal, whatever the pivot is, right? The pivot is, what did you do? Now, you can say, then I learned a simple way to flood my body with over 30 fruits and vegetables every single day. Wow. I think we could say it a little bit better than that, but you could say it that way if you want to. What I want you to write down is, what was your pivot? What did you do that changed the direction of your health journey? Write it down. I finally said yes to what? What did you say yes to? I finally started to take it every day. I finally got consistent. Whatever it was, write that down. And in the end, now I am what? Now I am getting to work more because my kids are actually healthy. They're in school, and I love that they're not sick and grumpy as much as they were before. Are you very inspired by that story that I just shared with you? I can't see very many faces, but I'm not very inspired by that story at all, because it's just facts. All right. So what we're going to do when you write that story, I want to go back one. All right. When you write that story using this grid right here, I want you to write it out just using this grid right here. All right. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to read your story, and we're going to peel away some layers, and we're going to get real, and we're going to get raw. All right. And that means you got to be a little vulnerable. All right. Because that is what is in. No, it's not what is in. It's being authentic. You've got to be true and real to the person that's in front of you. All right. So how did it make you feel before you started? These are the questions that I asked that sweet girl. Another mom that I talked to said that she had no energy. No energy is a common one. No energy, to the point where she said in the afternoons, she would put her kids in like a little playpen, and she would lay down on the couch and take naps. And they'd be, mommy, can we go outside? I want to go on the play set. And she goes, and I just couldn't do it. I couldn't get up the energy to get off the couch. And I said, how'd that make you feel? She said, guilty. Why did that make you feel guilty? Because I really wanted to be a good mom. Why do you want to be a good mom? Because I want my kids to look up to me and see me for the amazing mom that I know that I can be. I got chill bumps. She got chill bumps. She started crying. How did it make you feel? And then ask why. Why? Why? Every time you ask why, you're peeling away another layer to your story, getting to the heart and the truth of why you got started on Juice Plus, because something before Juice Plus made you say it's time. All right. Next question is, what did life look like? Life for her looked like I was on the couch. My kids were running around mostly in dirty diapers because she didn't get up to change them. She was like, dinner was whatever I could cook off the cuff. It was pure chaos at night because I wasn't prepared. She wasn't prepared for bedtime. Life was hectic and chaotic and out of control. That's what life looked like for her. All right. She's writing these things down. And I'm like, why? Why? No energy. Why? Why? Because I wasn't eating well. Why weren't you eating well? Because I didn't know what to eat. Why? Why? We kept digging in to these questions. What couldn't you do because of? What couldn't you do? Because you had no energy, what did it keep you from doing? It kept her from spending that one-on-one time with her children. It kept her from being the mom that she wanted to be. Again, I'm just using this as an example because it's one that I've used recently, a story that I've told or worked with recently. How did it affect your friends and family? How did it affect them? And you might not even think about these things. You might not even thought about it, right? Whether it's that you were sick all the time or you had no energy, any of those things, all right? All right, now I wanna acknowledge that some of you might be new. You might be brand spanking new and you don't even have a story yet. And that's okay. You might be like, like how do I even share? Like I don't have an after yet because I just got started. Here's how I want you to look at it. What are you excited about right now when it comes to your health? Now that you've started Juice Plus. So your after is not good. You might not have an after yet. Or maybe you're like, I've been on Juice Plus for a couple of years and I don't really have a massive story. Like I've always been kind of healthy. I don't have a wow, and you don't need to have a wow. Juice Plus is not a magic pill. It's fruits and vegetables, right? So what are you excited about now? I'm so excited for my health and for my future. I know that I'm investing in my wellness, and I know that my best days are ahead of me and not behind me. I'm so excited that I'm going to have the energy. I'm going to look cute, and I'm going to live life big until the end, right? Whatever it is that excites you about the future and your health. How do you wake up feeling now every single morning? Boy, my feet hit the floor and the devil says, oh Lord, she's up, look out. I do. I say that every morning. I'm up, let's go. Because I know that I'm going to have the energy to do what I need to do today, right? How do you wake up feeling right now? And I'll tell you what, some of it's right here, head trash. If you need to work on that, I want you to think about what could you be doing now that you're taking Juice Plus? How much energy? What could you do? Could you start running a 5K? Could you start going for a power walk? Do you want to take up tennis? Hey, do you want to take a cooking class? What are you excited about right now? All right. And what can you do now? And how has that changed you? So for you now, it's, hey, listen, now I have this community that's supporting me. And I'm so excited because I know that healthy living is the way to live life. This is the way I want to live life. It's changed how I see my future. How has it changed you? Looking forward, how is it changing your vision for your future? All right. And again, you got to keep asking these whys. How do you see your health in the future? I want you to write down a descriptive word. Are you hopeful? Are you scared? Where are you? Okay. Now, once we've done all those things, this right here is just compliance, and I have to show it. It's a part of that same section. And the reason I say this is because I want you to know that when you share your story, I know that Kimberly Boardman earlier said, we don't make any claims. We don't need to make claims. All of our stuff is backed by research, but I always want to make sure that we're not making any absolute health claims. Or business claims, either one. But what we want to do is share the other lifestyle changes that we've made as well. We know we drink more water when we take Juice Plus because we've got to drink the water to take the capsules, right? Always. We're moving our bodies because we're more mindful about our wellness. We're getting more sleep because we know that's when our bodies heal. We're craving more fruits and vegetables because we're putting all those plant powders in our bodies, right? So just be mindful of that, all right? You start putting that story together with the emotions attached to it. I am always open to looking at stories. So I want you to write your story, write it down. All right. It needs to be in 2 minutes or less. And I'm going to show you how to break it up even more. But write your story 2 minutes or less. Practice saying it. It needs to be heart and emotion. All right. Okay. So let's jump over to your business story. Okay. Again, everything that I'm going to share with you tonight is on the Freedom Revolution. I just want y'all to know that it's not anything. I helped to write all this stuff. I'm on the committee that wrote all this stuff. So I promise you it's all the same stuff. All right. So on the Freedom Revolution, this is what we have for the business. Pain, lesson, opportunity, triumph. And you, of course, can use these to help start to put your story kind of together, or maybe you don't have a lesson and an opportunity, or you haven't experienced a triumph yet. We all have a pain. There's always a reason, right? I was looking for best price possible. That was my pain, because any good mom of 5 children always wants a good deal, right? I was looking for the best price possible then. And I didn't realize that my pain was actually that instead of owning my life with 2 of my own businesses, boot camps and personal training, I was handcuffed to my clients and behind a door while my kids were banging on the door saying, Mommy, when are you going to be done? I didn't own my life. My life owned me. I didn't know that my pain was I needed time freedom, but I learned that once I got started with the business. So you can use this if you like, or you can go right back to this. Same thing as the product, but obviously your pivot is going to be, however many years ago I was exhausted. I was personal training at least 3 to 5 hours a day, plus 4 to 6 boot camps a day, while nursing a 1-year-old, while helping 2 toddlers, a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old, while helping my 8-year-old and 10-year-old with their homework. Well, I was going nonstop. That's where I was 13 years ago, right? So my pivot was, I said yes because I didn't know. I had no idea. I was just looking for the best price possible. I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know what a network marketing business looked like. I had no idea. But I'll tell you what, 13 years later, I'm the happiest woman I've ever been, because I own my life. I found a community that lifted me up before I even knew how to believe in myself. They believed in me. And I'm taking better care of myself now than I ever did. And now my kids look at me and they're proud of me, because they can walk up to me at any moment and ask me a question and know that mommy's available at any time, right? Can you feel my heart? Can you feel my emotion in that? It changes when you do that. Now, I want to encourage you to find the words to relate to the person that you are speaking to, right? So if I'm talking to a grandmother, I'm probably not going to share the story about a toddler. I'm going to share my mom's story, or I'm going to share somebody else's story. You can borrow stories. So make sure that the person who's in front of you, that you're relating to them, that they could go, oh yeah, remember, emotions are big, right? So it might not be your story that's going to inspire them, but it might be a snippet of Cheryl Cortese's story, or Carol Turnbow's story, or a Kim Boardman's story. I don't know. It could be somebody else's story, maybe a story, a snippet that you heard tonight, right? You want to make sure that you're finding those words to relate to the person that is in front of you. Stay relevant, all right? Now, we're going to talk about this business story really quick, because there's some questions I want you to ask yourself. All right. How did you feel before joining this mission? Or what was it that kind of drew you to it? Why were you drawn to the mission? How did I feel? You heard how I felt, right? Write down those words. And then I'm going to ask you why. Why? Why? You got to write those answers down. Why? I want you to do that. Do this for yourself. All right, you can take a screenshot of all these questions once I get through these. What changes were you looking for? Or what additions were you looking for in your life? Maybe there was something you were missing. Listen, there are 6 basic human needs that every person needs: certainty, a paycheck, something that's not going anywhere, a company that's not going to go bankrupt, a company that's always going to be there, whatever it is, a product that's tried and proven, right? Uncertainty. Everybody needs some fun in their life, a little spontaneity, right? How about personal growth and development? Maybe you signed on because you were looking for some personal growth. Maybe it's contribution. You are looking to give back in a bigger way, right? Think about these things in your life. Maybe it's love and connection, right? Maybe it's friendships. People are looking for friendships now. The last one is purpose. Purpose. Looking for a purpose in your life. What was it? And again, you think about that, because the person in front of you, I promise you, if you listen to them real good, you'll find out what their needs are, right? And you can show them what they can find right here. If you can help somebody meet 2 to 3 of their basic human needs anywhere, they won't go anywhere. And all 6 of those have met for me in this company. I'm not going anywhere. All right. Okay. So what did you dream your life would look like? Did you dream it would be the way it was before you started Juice Plus? What did you dream about? Right? When I was a little girl, I dreamed of being a jet-setting businesswoman, flying around the world and changing lives, but I had no idea what that meant. Zero. Everybody else wanted to be a teacher. So I started to say teacher because that's what everybody else said. No one even understood what I was saying. I didn't even understand what I meant, but I knew that I wanted to go and help people. Who knew it was going to be an entrepreneur sharing fruits and vegetables in a capsule, right? Okay, so if you're brand new to the business and you don't have a story yet, it's okay. We're going to show you some questions here. What are you hopeful for in the future? You starting to dream again? Listen, I had stopped dreaming. I didn't even know what the next year would look like, let alone 5 years from now. What excites you most about this company, this community, this mission? What sets your soul on fire? Because I promise you, it's contagious. That's the one contagious we want in this world, right? We want that excitement, what sets your soul on fire, to ignite. And boy, let's do that. Let's make that contagious everywhere. Okay, how have you changed as a person, or what do you hope to see in your growth here? Oh my goodness, I can't see my screen. It's so funny. So what do you hope to see grow in your future? All right, so let me go back once. If you need to take a screenshot, oh my goodness, can you believe I did that? Hold on. I didn't say I was great at technology. Uh-oh. Am I frozen? I think I'm frozen.
No, I can hear you.
Oh, good. Just my face is frozen.
Yeah. You just look a little shocked on the screen.
Great look for me. I love that look.
And now I think we're back.
Right, that's the last one. So if you want to screenshot this, I'm sorry, I jumped to it. I try to make my slides fancy by making them come in like that, because I didn't want all the words at one time. But then I messed up and I had to do it again. But that's all right. We live and we learn. All right, this is the compliance part of it. Again, we don't make any claims, no get rich quick, none of those things. I'm sorry my face is frozen, but it's all good. Believe me, I'm moving. And just make sure that you are careful of the absolutes, right? You can talk about time flexibility, job flexibility, an extra income stream, right? Those kind of things. Absolutely, you can do that. But you don't want to say, I quit my full-time job and now I'm doing this, because we're not doing that, right? We don't recommend anybody do that, right? Okay, awesome. There we go. All right. So I've got a great story for you. This is the no dumping zone. I love that my face is frozen like that. Okay. No dumping allowed. All right. So if you were sitting at a picnic at a park bench and I hadn't seen you in a really long time, and I walked right up to that bench and I'm like, hey, and all I do is take my purse and dump it out in front of you and step back and look at you. What are you going to say? You can be like, she's lost her ever living mind. I think I'd like to put her where she was in my past, right? You're not going to want a relationship with somebody that does that. It's the same thing when you dump your Juice Plus all over somebody. No vomiting Juice Plus, no dumping allowed. It is much better when we can bring curiosity. Take one thing at a time out of your purse, one thing at a time. You know what? I thought about you. I have, I saw this picture, and you pull that picture out of your purse, and I saw this picture, and I remember when we were at the beach when we were 16 and we had so much fun. And you take one thing at a time and you have a conversation. You have a conversation about each thing, right? So when sharing your story, make sure you make it a conversation, not a presentation. This is going to be like your golden rule of storytelling. Use the 2-to-1 rule. And the 2-to-1 rule is this: for every 2 statements you make, ask a question. That is how you not only take it from a presentation to a conversation, but you also learn about the person that's in front of you, right? So they might say, so what have you guys been up to? You look super healthy. Like, what have you been doing? What have you been eating? Like, gosh, like, how do you do that? I might say something like, gosh, you know what? I've been on such a health journey. We've been trying so hard to eat more fruits and vegetables. I don't know about you, but my kids are hard with the fruits and vegetables. How are your kids with eating fruits and veggies? I'm just asking questions. I'm sharing a little bit. I'm asking a little bit. Okay. So make sure you use that 2-to-1 rule. All right. Write your story down, practice it, and own it. Remember that we are paid storytellers. Facts tell, but stories sell every single time. All right. So I'm going to hopefully stop my share here, and maybe my face will come back. It might not. I think all of my teenagers are online right now in my house. So I may not have a face come back here. Am I back? Carol, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but now you're like, we don't see anything.
I know, it's so weird. I don't know what.
But we don't have your shocked face anymore. So
oh, yay, that's awesome. I love that. I love it. Well, I don't know what's going on with this whole thing, but it's all good. It's all good.
Yep.
I just really want to empower all of you to own your story. Enjoy telling it. Get different aspects of your story. Have different parts of your story that you're going to share with different people, and just enjoy it and get comfortable with it. All right, Carol. Apparently my internet is not doing so good.
That's okay. That was amazing. Like, so much information. So thank you for sharing Freedom Revolution, you guys. It's got all that stuff on there. So get on there and look for it. And thank you so much for doing our training tonight. We appreciate you.
Absolutely. Now, Carol, well, I don't know if I can stop the recording. I'll be honest with you.
Let's see if I can take my host back.
I don't know if you can or not. It's all good. Thanks for jumping on, you guys. We'll figure out this recording thing. Hang on.
It says that I have to ask you.
All right, hang on. I'll get it.
Do you see the record button at the bottom?
Oh, no, it's not that. It's spinning. I have a multi all spinning.
You know what? If we hang up, it'll stop.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Sorry about that.
Good night, everybody.
It's in the house. Everybody, y'all have a good night.
You too. Thanks, Courtney.
Bye, y'all.
Good night. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
That's great.
It was.
Thanks, y'all. Still nothing.